My name is Vladimir Kangin. I'm born in USSR, so it's a kind of challenging that this country not exists anymore.
Yeah, yes.
So it used to be one of the largest country, but fall apart in 1991.
Yes.
But I studied as well in USSR, so it's but old style of education and old style of education system gives quite a lot of advantages to build something great in my life. So I moved to Cyprus in 1996. Then I get naturalized, so I'm a Cypriot, I'm a Cyprus citizen. The company has been established in Cyprus in 1996.
Yeah.
And since then it's become a bigger holding group. So we now about 13 companies with directly involved in the business, and a few affiliated companies which is partially owned, and all of this is operated under the name of IPTP Networks.
Yes.
So it's our trading name. And IPTP Networks is not one company, and it's not one holding, is a group of companies. Some of the companies are working based on commercial ties between the companies, and some of the companies are part of the holding and operating, let's say, as a one single business group, let's say, not entity, you can say.
Okay, yeah. We can see it's really a well-developed group in this industry, and you have many branches. And so why did you choose Cyprus as your starting point?
Wow, it's an interesting question. And
I know it's a place for investment.
I have a long story and short story, so what you will choose?
The interesting one.
The interesting one, okay. The interesting one, it would be really funny. So first time I visit United Kingdom on the program of Sister City in 1990 or 1991. I don't remember exactly the time. And I was with my girlfriend pick up in south coast of UK, and we went by taxi, not by taxi, by the host who accommodate us to Tavistock City. So, and on the way the car had a problem and the tire broke. So when I talked to the owner of the car, our host, he said that he don't know how to change tire, which was shocking me, because I thought that every driver know how to change the tire. But he said, no, I don't know how to change it. And I said, okay, let me help you to do that. He said, I cannot let you do it because you may have some injury or something. And then in the matter of 3-5 minutes, the police comes on the bikes because it was a strong rain. They knock the window and say, why you stand here on the highway? He said, because of the tire broke. He said, oh, okay. Do you know how to change? He said, no, we don't know how to change. He said, do you have a book how to change it? So, yeah, I have a book. And they start looking for the book how to change tire, which is, for me, it was shocking. And let's say with the USSR, let's say, experience, you cannot imagine that the police is asking something just to help. It's usually police, when it's get involved, you get in trouble. So it's not normal. It's not normal when the police helping, basically. And this police was start reading the book, but because it's rain, I was shocked that he don't want to make a book wet. He take his hat out and he cover the book. So he put his head under the rain. He get all wet. And he reading the book. Something goes wrong. I really think like it's not the let's say real picture. It's like some movie story, right? And they read the book, they give the book back, and they said, okay, we understood where is your spare tire. Don't sit in the car. We'll do everything by ourselves. etc. And when they in the yellow forms, just jump on the road in this all wet, dirty asphalt on the road, and they start changing the tire. It's definitely something wrong goes because two policemen changing the tire. We're sitting in the car. We don't even know how to change the tire and so on. And I thought that would be a very, very big penalty for all of this service, etc. And then they finished, tied up the car, the tire, put the other tire back. And we start moving, and I still was like lost. Why is that happen all of like this? Why is the police have to change your tires for you, etc.? It must be something wrong, and I feel like not completed. And they stop the car, like 2 minutes later, and they say like, oh, sorry, we want to check that we tied up your back tire well. So can you stop for a second? They again jump on the road, again start tidying up this tire.
Rain again.
And I said, oh my God, this is out of completely my understanding. And from that point of time, I fall in love with let's say UK police style. Because you cannot take it differently, because it's touching. It's a touching. So for me, from that point of time, UK become kind of like a country to stay to be, because you feel the police really take care of the life. And there is a joke on this subject as well. After that trip, I got kind of addicted, or always was thinking how can do business with UK, how to be close to that community, etc., etc. But I'm from south of Russia. I'm not let's say tend to be in the fog and mist city environment, because I cannot enjoy if no sunlights, etc. And that's make me kind of feel sad that this country living in the not that good weather. And 1996, when it was an opportunity to start moving to Cyprus. First time when I landed to Cyprus, I saw English style of living with the bright skies. And when I read that is like 360 days a year is the sun.
A holiday.
Yes, as a holiday. The police, like in UK, so the sun and the sea, like in my home city, Novorossiysk, in Russia. So I said, like, this is a paradise. This is a paradise. So, and I can tell you that Cyprus was an interesting experience, because first time I come, I feel much connected to the island, to the people. And the second time when I arrived to Cyprus, I feel like I went to the home. So because it's like you really feel that you belong to that place, and that's why the Cyprus. So it's a long story, but this is true.
Yeah, but it's really touching.
This
I
is
can
true
feel
story.
you. Yes, you can really get satisfied and happy in a place where you can get your business started with, and have your comfortable life with. Yeah,
of course. So the comfortable life is one of the major factors, because money cannot compensate it. So you have to look from the perspective of your life first, and then all the rest.
Okay, and you can balance your work and life very well every day. It's a holiday, and go back to work, and finish your work and go back holiday.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. What are the key factors that have contributed to your company, because it's quite successful and growing very fast in the past nearly 30 years?
Look, it's no magic. I would say this is a pretty straightforward. However, even it's a classic, I want to make sure that majority of the companies they're not satisfied from the business perspective to follow our style. Our style was pretty simple. Our target to help customers to solve their challenges, to assist them to serve them, to keep them happy, despite the fact whether it's very profitable or not profitable, or even just a favor we're doing. It's always was more a human face business.
Yes.
So we never focus on money. So and money comes after we get let's say people satisfied, and they bring another people. We have grown natively over those years, and even we do quite aggressive marketing, even we do digital marketing, or even our corporate magazine, etc. The number of the leads which we received through market activity is very marginal in compare with the number of the leads which we receive through the customer recommendation. So the most of our growth is coming from our customers who bring their friends, their partners, and so on, and that's how it's growing. This way, why is not easy to adopt by other companies? Because it's not focused on money. So we never was focused to grow, to get more business, etc. We always was focused to enjoy the walk. So enjoying the walk, it's not a business. It's more like a lifestyle. So that's why the company, and if you want to say success, which is also adaptable, because Google was established about the same time, but as a multi-billion company rather than IPTP, which is a multi-million only. So we are 1,000 times smaller than other big IT companies, although with the same approximately age. But we do not regret that, because let's say one type of business, and doing the business for your own fun is a completely different experience. And I have interesting comment which probably answer to your question straight. Some team members who left IPTP in the past moved to another companies. And they talk to me after, let's say, 5 years or 10 years, and they said, I never had in my life ever experience when you can do the business in the company, tell to the companies, to the partners, to the customers truth, enjoy what you are doing, and being appreciated by other people. And this is quite unique, because in most of the businesses, I'm sorry to say, you have to lie, you have to, let's say, cheat, or you have to, let's say, focus on the money. But it's no joy. I would not be able to sleep. So I rather choose a sleep well than make too much money.
Yes, so you prioritize your customers and really care about them. It seems like you form a kind of community where everyone is cared about and help each other.
To be honest, is just a perfect comment. Perfect comment, because whenever we talk with someone, either from investors or from new large partners, agreements, etc., we always say to them that we are not a typical company, because we are community. We are community. We live in the community style, and you know that in Israel there is a kind of kibbutz where the people come together and they do farming together. In Soviet Union it was kolkhoz. So kolkhoz is like a common property managed by the community of the farmers to make a bigger business, but because one farmer cannot do much, so they team up together and helping each other, and it's grow. So it is a 100% community style, and this is I would say one of our let's say main secret of let's say success. The way how we see success, of course, it's somebody say they not make a Google revenue, so we're not successful yet, but we're not targeted this. We target to keep our team members happy, keep their families happy, keep their kids growing, and some kids working in our team. My kids working in the company. You can say more like a family business, but because it's quite big, it's not family business anymore. It's a community business, and I think that community style of business we start, let's say, openly present from 2004. So basically 20 years ago. 20 years ago, we already recognize that we are not standard company, because it's we always say whenever somebody wants to come, he said, I want to come and I have to work. No, I want to work. We say, okay, but no salary.
No salary.
Because we community. We're not the company which is making the salary. The people who focus on the money, they very upset and they leave, and they let's say feel insulted with this type of offers. But there is a few guys who, let's say back to 25 years ago, who agrees to do that. And they say, like, I want to join your community because I'm a good guy and I'm sure that I will be able to contribute. And it's a surprise that this type of the people are still in our community over 25 years. And they now one of the richest, probably successful people in the team. They already become investors into the back to the community, to the company. And that's just how it works. And thank you so much for the question, because not many people understand this. That's as a community style business. So they look to us like, oh, it's another telecom or another ISP or it's another data center, but we are not.
Yeah, it's really good suggestion for other companies if if they want to improve their caring and love about their staff members and employees.
I can tell you that is a very good point. That's a very good point, and I want to. You probably will have some more questions about this area, but I would little bit ahead of your questions and answer it to something which you may interested. There is no way to transform company into the company of IPTP style, because let's make just a comparison, right? So if you make the marry between the two people because of money, they will never love each other.
Yes, you have to.
So they will be always focused on the money, and whenever some conflict, they just break because it's money doesn't hold anymore, because it's only for money. If you want to do something long term, money should not be involved, and the love is in place. So if the people, let's say, in a good understanding and the good common mind, etc., they don't care of money, they are taking care of each other, they help each other in a difficult situation, they let's say have a fun together, the good time, and they are tied together, very strong. To transform any company from, let's say, classical business approach into the community approach is impossible. It's like try to transform family which marry for the money, try to transform them into the family to the loving one. It's impossible. You can make transformation backwards from the loving to the money, but we're trying to resist anyone who are trying to compromise team inside, who tries to corrupt anything internally, externally, etc. And we had those challenges in the past. We had companies who tries to corrupt our employees, who tries to destroy a PTP from inside, etc. I don't want to talk about all these stories, but please understand this is uniqueness can be only from the birth. So when you make the company from the first person, from the first members, it has to be structured that way. And there is no way to have a shortcut. You can't develop it fast, because it should go, this machine should grow, natively grow. That's the only way.
As a Tier 1 single homed network, what distinguishes IPTP Networks from other ISPs in terms of service offerings and network infrastructure? Apart from the community stuff we just talked about, you can offer us some other your advantages, and also you can tell us some of your competitors and why do you perform better than them. So the most important one is your community's method to run the
community method is actually affect this part of the activities, because normal business will be focused on the profitability. Our business is focused on quality and let's say responsibility for what we are doing, and customer satisfaction. So with all let's say respect, there is not much competition on the market because of structure of those companies different from us. And because the structure is different, they can compete with us as ISP, they can compete with us as data centers, they can compete with us as a telecom, they can compete with us with all other way, but they cannot compete with us as a community, because they are not. So we basically have our strong uniqueness, and this strong uniqueness have a very strong impact to the portfolio what we are doing. So if you talk about competition, I need to say that probably the many companies which is competing with us, they are basically inspired by seeing our business already how we doing. So they're trying to make a copy paste of what we are doing, and from that perspective, we can say that we born our own competitors. We even give them some, let's say, ideas, concepts, etc. And in fact, we do not regret much, because sooner or later it will happen anyway, right? If you are selling bananas, let's say $1 per banana, another one will be standing next to you, will sell it for 50 cents because he's more desperate to do it. So you cannot avoid competition. So that is absolutely normal. And if somebody direct compete with us on certain products, on certain markets, we do not see it as an enemy. So if they see us as an enemy, it's funny, because
we don't care.
We probably bigger from the global scale. We are stronger structured internally. They cannot destroy us from inside, even they try many times, and so on and so on. So that is a very important competitiveness advantage. And you said, by the way, very accurate, and I very much appreciate that you bring it in the
community level.
with the appropriate technically word. You said like a tier 1 single homed, and it doesn't mean exactly that we are tier 1. We actually we say tier 1 single home because we are behind of IS number 3356 is IS number which belongs to level 3. Level 3 was acquired by company CenturyLink. CenturyLink then renamed to Lumen. So this IS number belongs to Lumen. But this is the largest ISP in the world. So our concept was always, I'm sorry, it's called KISS principle. Keep it simple, stupid. So it's simple, stupid principle. We took the number 1 IS in the world. We make contract with them, and we don't work with anyone else. Everyone only can buy from us, right? In this situation, we assure the quality. We assure, let's say, customer satisfaction, and negative aspects that we would be never good in the cost. Because our cost always would be higher with the competition. And I don't want to name many competitors because they think that they are competitors. We don't see them competitors. So we see them like another company which has its own space for living, etc. So I can name some of them. You may be interested to see that. Let's say Chinese company ZenLayer, for instance. They are, you know them?
ZenLayer, I heard about them.
So they kind of successful company. I very much respect that. That's what they are doing. And in 2013, when I talked with ZenLayer founder, Joe, he actually wasn't founder that time. He was saying, he was saying, why IPTP is so successful? Why IPTP is doing great around the world, and what is your magic behind it? I said, it's very simple, because you always have one company, another company, this company wants to talk this language, this company wants to talk another language. Who's in the middle? No one in the middle. So we are very special layer, which is fill up the gap between the let's say customers, vendors,
like
providers. We like a bridge, but I said the word specifically layer.
Layer, yeah, okay.
Next month's company, then layer will register. So that's I gave. He have to let's say 2 cents for me for the name of the company at least. So I gave him an idea. And another company in South Africa also had a communication approximately same time. And they also questioning how you manage, how you made to do this. I said, because we are supplying the missing pieces between one company and another company, and they call company missing pieces. So it's basically we even give the names to our competitors. You see, we assisting them to work. But I would say from the business operation perspective, it's a completely a different scale and a completely different approach. For instance, if we see from the financial results or market positions, companies then layer probably $100 million investment. We have a $2 million investment. So we're supposed to be 50 times smaller, but we are not 50 times smaller. We probably half of them from the in terms of turnover and team and etc. etc. So, but our let's say costs, our operation benefits the way how we do is much more sound than many of the competitors who tries to bring it on the market, who tries to achieve certain markets. And it's not only, let's say, China, is also we have a competitors regions from Russia, from Europe, from Africa, from Latin America. They all try to copy paste what we're doing, but they all missing one thing: community is the first. So you need to be a community based.
So you never find any company like you?
I would love to see this company, because if we have any company which is capable to do the same business, we would probably merge together, because it's very easy to do if it's the same mental environment. So because that is very important. However, it's challenge. So unfortunately, money driven companies, they most have a greedy managers on the top, or greedy investors on the top, and that's why we are structured to be a public company. We have our holding company is a public registered company, but we don't go to IPO. We don't want to go to the, let's say, big money area, because we will be pushed by investors to make money. But we want to enjoy what we are doing. We don't want to make money that much.
Yes, not money only. Okay, the geopolitical landscape nowadays is changing very fast. And how does your company mitigate the risks and ensure the business continuity, especially in regions that might have some political instability or regulatory uncertainty?
Its subject is very, let's say, sensitive, I would say, from this perspective, and also is not something which is I would be speaking first time in my life. If you search LinkedIn articles, I've been doing about 10 years ago, approximately 10 years ago, probably 2016, I was doing the article about segmentation and fragmentation internet globally, because we see the effects on the internet segmentation and fragmentation for quite a long period of time. So it comes from the different perspective. It's regulatory in the many countries.
Yes.
I don't, because we have licensed in many countries and we know those specifics. I can tell that much more countries implement regulation of internet in their countries than what we know publicly. Much more. And for instance, just name one, Korea.
Yes.
Everybody says South Korea is so freedom country. Yes, but the internet was regulated from the day one and up to now, and it's fully under government control. You can't even use Google normally in the Korea, not by accident, is intentionally made. I don't want to touch countries like China, Russia, Iran and North Korea, because they definitely implemented their protection. It's not is out of subject. Is everybody talking about them, but actually they are not the first one who start doing it. They are following the other smart countries like Korea, like Saudi Arabia, like Arab Emirates, like Israel, which is so much democratic and free speech, but is always was with a very deep control of the content over there. So, and when you go deep into the internet industry, you can understand how seriously is regulated and under control. So for us, of course, it's challenge and cost, unfortunately, because for regulatory purpose, depending on the country, you need to have, let's say, legal intercept systems, some kind of scanners, trackers, and so on and so on. And our challenge is comply with all of that. Because operating in multiple countries, in some countries we had to register companies, which is not, let's say, on my name or even our holding name, just because we need to comply with regulation, because it's supposed to be established by the local people. And we have done it, and we also interested to do a similar thing in China, but we still have no partner who will be willing to go with all these challenges, especially China, a big country, and lots of things difficult to sort out. So that's why we're still operating out of Hong Kong, and we're still not in China mainland with a network and with a license and so on. But who knows, if we will get the right partners, we will be able to do it in China mainland too. But we have a large number of the countries where we obtain telecom license, so we comply with all the regulation, with all authorities. Of course, there is a challenge, especially when one authority want to take some information of another territory, and we say like, sorry, this is a different entities. Even we have the same name, we share the business, everything is, let's say, common, but it's a different company, different regulation, and we cannot assist you. If you want to get information, go legally through the courts, through the Interpol, go whatever, because we had number of the cases when some illegal activities been in our company, and we had to cooperate and with FBI and Interpol and other regional police in the whole countries, including Hong Kong police, including Vietnam police, and so on. So it's a normal, but cost-wise, yes, it's hurt. Yes. Because it's require for our community to be first of all protective, so we have to maintain a legal team, we have to maintain the team who coordinate with the regulators, all of this stuff, so it's increase our cost, but at the same time it's a reality of it today.
And how does your company ensure the reliability and the security of its network infrastructure, especially considering the diverse geographical locations it operates in, like the United States, China, Brazil, and Vietnam?
Look, it's connected to the previous question.
Yes,
Because the regulation is different for the different area. So to provide certain level of reliability and security, reliability, it would be directly connected with compliance.
Yes.
So if we compliant and if local regulators are happy with us, what we are doing, we would be, let's say, from regulation standing point, reliable. Of course, technical reliability is a matter of redundancy, multiple links, multiple point of presence, all connection, technical staff who can control it, and to provide from technical perspective reliability, we have large NOC operation. So the total number of engineers is about 100 engineers in our team, and we have let's say senior level. I say senior because somebody say senior. Oh, okay, 2 years I had experience. I'm senior. No, we have we have a guys who are let's say top of the top of the top, and they are leading and they making kind of education inside the team to youngers to grow faster up to the higher level, and then we have a senior level, we have like a master level, we have a juniors. So and all of them are working under our own managed software. We was started doing our own management software for all our systems, for all our network back 20 years ago. Now is a huge product which is about 1 million Java code line. So it's a huge, and it's act as a real cluster spread all over the world. If I'm not mistaken, it's on 7 servers now. Because we have different data sets and different countries. So any entity, any customers who are working with our platform, they have a relatively fair experience of the response time. Doesn't matter where they are. It's if they're in Australia, they're working with a server in Australia. If they in, let's say, in Thailand, they would be working with a probably server in Singapore and so on. So it's like everything is spread around the world, interconnected, and over our backbone, all the data replicated in the real time to provide a smooth operation. And our teams like network operation, network monitoring, security operations, customer support, they are all within our system, have a 24/7 follow the sun scheduling. So it's one person goes home, another person goes to office, and they continue the job. They have shifts, and they change. They pass the work from one shift to another shift, and this is another competitive advantage which we didn't mention with the competition, because none of them have the system like us, because we have an internal control, and with the number of our employees to control 250 data centers around the world where we are connected, it sounds like nearly impossible, because the companies which are doing, let's say, similar size of business, they usually already have thousands of employees. So we have a very small number of employees, and we're managing such a big resource because of efficiency of all electronic systems, scheduling, analytics, HR modules. We have internal information like employee card, employee profile. We know his psychological status, we know his soft skills, we know his hard skills, and when we do certain job, we can precisely pick up the person from our team who fit very well to make this job, not to just give to anyone and say go and do it, but he goes and he don't know what to do and how to do it, and then they're losing the time and losing the face of the company. So we have we have it's always space for improvements, so we keep working on it, and we have a global HR team which is optimizing. They do incident study, and every single incident it's improve our system, and it's like keep rolling like that.
It's really a mature platform where everything goes quite smooth.
So when the artificial intelligence is the next what we will add over there, so to make it even more sophisticated than just a human being.
Working with AI is how the future looks like. Okay, and how does your company approach sustainability and corporate social responsibility in its operations across different regions?
Wow, so it's a green subject, you would say. Look, first of all, because we are not doing anything just for money, right? So it's never been a problem for us. So we always prefer to go greener. We always prefer to be less harmful for environment, for everything. And of course, we not on. When you focus on money, you may want to focus on some short advantages. We never focus on the short advantages. We always look on long term. So if you focus on the long term, sustainability would be quite a good level.
So can you give us some specific ways to achieve your green goals?
We have in 2013 we launch. Okay, so I should go back to the previous, probably is. In 2009, we considered to make the project in Amsterdam Science Park and build in Netherlands our own data center, because at that time we had the small data center which we bought from another company and we already operate, but we considered in 2009 to build new one. So it was quite of work to get permissions, to get all up necessary arrangements with the companies, and 2013 we put it in operation. But at the planning stage, we was targeting to pump the heat from the data center to Amsterdam University. So because we have excessive heat in the data center, but Amsterdam University need to have warming up the classes and so on. So and all provision in everything is already in place, and we have the exit pipes which is supposed to go to. It all comes from the design stage and etc. However, many data centers around the globe we not own, we just lease space, power and other services from the data centers like Equinix, like Global Switch, like let's say Digital Realty, and it's many companies which is globally well known. Mega, let's say it's iAdvantage Group from Hong Kong, and so on. So Accelerate in Moscow, and we of course have to rely on what they are doing, because we're not operating the data centers. But our business model being always, let's say, best of the best, not necessarily in the price, but the most important from the quality perspective, presence perspective. Of course, the selection comes to the leaders, and the leaders also follow the subject of sustainability. So that's just like relying on the sustainable partners to achieve our own sustainability.
You have really started the sustainable goal quite early. Now we have finished all the questions, and I think you have provided a lot of suggestions for the whole world, like your community running method, and also your respect for all the people in your company and your customers, and really following the regulations and rules in different regions. So another, your green operation method, and you started your sustainability goal quite early in 2009. So do you have anything any other things to say?
I think that we recently update our website, because we start more using artificial intelligence to assist to improve the system. So our previous website version was still okay, but I think that the new one is getting much better. So that would be a suggestion for those who do not know about company much, to take a look our website, to take a look our products, which is beyond of our website, because we have a products, let's say like Luck Blaster, which is help to optimize internet performance, or even let's say capabilities of internet in a specific country, specific place. And I'm using it as my travel buddy device everywhere with me. I just connect it and get my perfect environment instantly. And many other things. And of course, we have a chat on our website. If anyone have questions, they can through this chat instantly get connected with our customer support, not a chat bot. We're working on chat bot too. It would be backed up with a chat bot, but we are afraid that the chat bot will not be as accurate as a human to provide response. And until we have too many requests, we still have a few people team who is following up over our chat on the website, and we provide a human response to all kinds of questions, etc. So they can get straight answer in a very friendly manner right away.
It's really like a more efficient way to take care of your customers' needs.
Yes, that's what I can add. That's it.
Really lovely. Okay, thank you for your time.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. It's a long run.